Commissioner Virkkunen, there has been an Eastern Flank Summit in your home country today in Finland and Helsinki. So do you have a different perspective on the Russian threats because you are from a country that has a very long border with Russia?
I think we can see it in the European Union that those countries which are like eastern border countries, of course the threat landscape is much more urgent for them, and they have been preparing much more during the last years and decades, many of them, and also we can see that now there is very close cooperation among those countries.
So those countries are also calling for defense readiness in every aspect. There has been lots of talk about defense readiness on the ground, but let's look at the cyberspace. Are we in the digital world equally prepared for Russia?
We can see that we have to be prepared for many kind of threats nowadays, and especially those eastern flank countries. They have been really witnessing different hybrid operations during the last years. Like you said, cyber attacks, of course, massive cyber attacks we are all the time facing, but also different hybrid operations. For example, migrants, they have been used as weapons in the external border, and also we are facing GPS jamming, also sabotage against critical infrastructure, also different propaganda and disinformation. And now during the last months also we have seen these drones and our overflies of drones around critical infrastructure.
There has been criticism that the EU is not reacting fast enough, especially when you talk about the drones. Does the EU have to do more to be ready against Russia with hybrid threats and cyberspace?
Security, of course, is very much competence of member states, but it's important that we are acting together and also acting fast. And when it comes to drone capacity, we are also now building action plan also from the European Union side, where we are also linking together internal security, critical infrastructure, but also the defense part of that. So there's many different elements how we have to really boost our anti-drone and drone capacity together, and also meet NATO capability targets, of course.
So who do you think is responsible in the end for this? Is it Russia as a state with the cyber attacks, or are the tech companies, the big tech giants that are spreading disinformation, misinformation, and also hybrid threats, are they responsible in the end?
Of course, we can see that there's many different actors. There is state actors as also state-sponsored actors who wants to really destabilize our society. So they want to create mistrust among our citizens with the cyber attacks and also with the propaganda and disinformation. We can see this often, for example, during the electoral campaigns. Lately in Moldova, which is not part of European Union, but they were massively under cyber attacks and also under disinformation, and we were giving also support for them. So it's important that everybody is prepared for that. For the cyber part, we are having legislation in place, and there is also very important, of course, to do exercises. And just a few weeks ago, we were carrying out our first common exercise on cyber security together with member states, because we have now also a new framework for that.
When you look at this, you just mentioned that you have some legislative things in place, for example, the Digital Services Act. You also are going after X in certain cases for transparency violations. Do you think it's good regarding the criticism that is also being targeted at the EU, that we are sort of not allowing free speech? Do you think it's a good way to target the tech companies?
We are very much respecting and defending freedom of speech in the European Union, but at the same time we have very clear rule under our Digital Services Act that everything what is illegal in our societies, it's also illegal online. And that's why the online service providers, they have to have certain practices in place, how they are assessing and mitigating the systematic risks what they are posing. And we have, for example, transparency obligations, and this is also the reason why we also make decision of non-compliance against X, because it's not meeting our transparency rules.
So you have also heard of Donald Trump. He threatened the EU for going after X, and he said it's sort of a dictatorship of the tech companies. Do you want to have Donald Trump as a friend, maybe not go after X to please Donald Trump?
Those very big tech companies, they have so big power nowadays in our economy and in our society. It's very important that they are not just operating under their own rules. So it's important that they are respecting our legislation and our values. And in the European Union, of course, we want that everybody who is doing business and operating in European Union, they are respecting our rules. So we have same rules for everybody, for European companies, for American companies, and for Asian companies.
Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Virkkunen.
Thank you very much.